Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, once more, ladies and gentlemen, another session from Alfred. I work with the Department of Medicine. I joined the department in 2000 when I just finished school. And from that time, I've been working there, heading the teaching laboratories in there. And from that time, I've had several different stuff based on my background. My background is laboratory, and that's what I've been doing all this time. Initially, I thought my focus was going to be on malaria, because that's where I did initial studies. And at that time, IDRC was fully malaria, and Moses, I remember with Sam, convinced me to join the team on malaria diagnostics. Somehow, I was not very much interested. And eventually, I joined the TB team. I remember when Fred Camp was still, I think, a fellow at IDI. We did the initial studies on the TB diagnostics, comparing microscopy, Zell-Nielsen, and the fluorescent microscopy. I think those results somehow also informed the national TB program to roll out fluorescent microscopy. Now, eventually, we joined the pneumonia study. This was mainly on PCP from 2007. And somehow it changed into TB, where I'm based currently. And so, my journey with the PAT started around 2015, 2016, when I enrolled for a PhD. And that time, my project was a little different. I wanted to look at etiology of pathogenic etiology of pneumonia in children below 5 years. I went through the administrative issues with the Makerere, and I got registered, but it couldn't take off because the dynamics were a little different. So I had to completely shelve the entire idea and started looking around to see what I could do to move forward. Good thing I must really appreciate was despite the delays, 1 year that I lost, still Pat kept me around, talking to me, trying to find ways to move on, and I listened to them. Then 2017 was when I got the TB biomarker studies, and I started working on them. And I'm hopeful probably by end of next year I should be done with this PhD program. I've so far published 2 papers on this work. The 2 manuscripts are in process, and that's where I am at the moment. Now, I have to give really credit to Pat for one, what I've gone through and what other trainees might have gone through. In order for me to continue, I needed new supervisors, needed new mentors, which I was able to get through the PAT program. And some of these mentors or supervisors eventually were building a relationship to become collaboration, because we already think about what happens after the PhD. And so we have ideas how we can take it off from there when this comes to a close. And the PAT also has the career development program that normally keeps you on your toes, keeps refocusing your career path, so that at the end of it all, you don't become redundant. You know where you're going. Professional trainings, I've gone through them. I've had chances to present parts of my work already in different fora, and also been able to, part of supposed mainly tuition and stipend. I think many of the trainees here will agree with me. This really keeps you working dedicatedly and be able to produce the results that you desire to see. Then on other fronts, trainees normally meet here regularly during works in progress, presentations, and I think this keeps a family together. People who get to know each other, and hopefully, eventually, they'll be able to work in different research agenda to see how they can continue the legacy of PAT. And also, leadership. At times when the entire administration is not here, the trainees are able to come together. They've learned to keep together. They've learned to, walk each other in the path of, So through this, I've learned also to at times take the lead in some of the PAT programs. And I'm hoping that probably when Achilles retires in a few years, I can also take up from him. And the PAT program will continue. Now for D43, we have really appreciated the support you have given to the PAT trainees. Many students have benefited from this program, and the limit is that you get tuition and stipend, and usually there's no research fund associated with this grant. So
there is a small amount associated, right? There's a tiny bit of associated.
I didn't know about that. So I was actually thinking if that was that, actually many students at times have...
Sorry, I should take it back just to correct myself.
Right.
It is there, but it all depends on how it can be used based on the circumstances. So they are allowed to, but maybe the programs are structured differently that sometimes it goes into something else.
I see. Thank you. So probably the next application should involve components of that, such that some of the trainees can benefit from that research component. Most times they get stranded with implementing their research ideas. And I also thought for the graduates of PAT, it will be a good idea to provide maybe a kind of seed grant that may be competitive, but aimed at trying to support them start a career after their trainings. And that probably will help them and also give chance for other trainees to come to be able to join in whatever they may set in that particular research forum. Personally, I have had my research, my career path that I'm trying to follow. My aim is to try to see if I can secure a grant which will help me build on what I'm doing right now. Particularly, I know many research in diagnostics, we don't do a lot of development here. Technology is not like a common thing here because of various limitations. So what I'm trying to do is to work with the various organizations to see if, I know we have very good clinicians here. I've been working with the Fresh Center for some time and others. We have a lot of patients with the various conditions that we need to diagnose. And I've attended meetings where people have complained that they have ideas, but they don't know where to practice this or try to test this out from. So we are trying to build a small group where we can have infrastructure that can support groups that are developing products for diagnostics, such that we're able to test them in real time, give them feedback, and improve as this gets applied in real health situations. Good enough, the college has a biomedical school of biomedical sciences where they are training students to build this into formidable products. So we think if you had this kind of platform, it will really go far in helping different students build their capacity, be more innovative, and be able to support this country in the area of diagnostics and other areas that might be necessary in the entire world. I thank you so much for listening.